If you're watching, the Chattanooga City Council plans a change to the city's floodplain maps, and it could impact some residents who were not previously in a flood zone.
Sierra Rucker is here to tell us what to do if you're impacted and the consequences for the city if the council doesn't approve the new maps. Sierra.
Cindy, David, one key takeaway from last night's council meeting was to get flood insurance if you already do not have it. Now, this is especially important for new areas that could be placed in high-risk flood zones. Months after the city's historic flooding on August 12th, new floodplain maps were presented to City Council. Tuesday night, the city's floodplain coordinator proposed new changes required by FEMA. The changes impact some residents, placing them in flood zones they were not in before.
So if you're a homeowner, then make sure you have the proper coverage, especially with these maps changing.
People impacted by the new plans that restrict future development in floodways receive cards from the city in the mail. Many of those were in the Brainerd area. This is on Toccoa Avenue in Brainerd. Residents in this area could now be in a flood zone. That's according to the new map.
I would hate for another national disaster to happen like we had a couple months ago and you find yourself not being covered.
Councilman Ron Elliott and the city's floodplain coordinator Ken Martin encouraged residents to look into flood insurance, which in many cases can be life-changing.
This summer really highlighted in Chattanooga the need for flood insurance because areas like the I-75 and I-24 that were flooded, nobody thought that was going to happen, but it did.
While flood insurance isn't required, Lakeham says the geography in the state leaves you at a higher risk.
Especially in Tennessee, you know, we live in an area where there's plenty of little knobs, hills, and everything else in the area. You know, if you're near one of these hills or even on top of some of the hills, just get with your insurance agent. Talk to them about the potential need, the risk that's there.
These new maps are required by FEMA and will go into effect November 28th. If not passed by council, the city is at risk of losing federal dollars from the National Flood Insurance Program. In the meantime, you're encouraged to contact your insurance provider and see what flood plan works best for you. And these maps were already approved through the city's planning commission, so now the plans will head back to City Council for a final vote on November 18th. To take a look at the newly proposed map to see if you're impacted, you can find a link over in our app.